Hi, my name is Sarah Ramirez Corral from Troop 8681, competing with stage management with the show Clue on Stage, both perform at Lake Creek High School and at a Grapevine stage at Texas Thespians. First, I wanted to talk about my prompt book and the divisions of it. I have 12 different sections within my prompt book, 7 of them talking about technical aspects of the show, whether that's lights, sound, scenic design, props, costuming, makeup and hair, publicity, and our rehearsal reports. All the others are the understanding of stage management, our directorial view, calendar, company roles, and our master cue sheet and our script. First, I wanted to talk about the understanding of stage management. According to the Merriam-Webster definition of stage management, is someone who supervises the physical aspects of a stage production and assists the directors during rehearsal, and is in charge of the stage during a performance. While I believe this is extremely true, I also believe that there's more that encompasses the job of a stage manager. We are liaisons within the company. We try to communicate with all parts of the company, whether that's information coming from the director towards the company or information from the company coming towards the director, whether that's aspects of tech, trying to communicate with actors, actors with tech, and trying to meet everybody's needs and trying to encompass all of those and work towards one goal together and try to make everyone's life a little bit easier and get the show running smoothly both during the show and during rehearsals. Next, I wanted to talk about the directorial view. One of our main points was that Clue is a very well-known show. That is something that we talked about during our design meetings. During our design meetings, the directorial view was we wanted to create this feeling of we have been in this manner before. We know this manner because we know the board game. So we try to encompass everything that was in the 1950s version of the game, the first edition that was released. We tried to make this a very familiar home while still having a Victorian feeling and that eerie feeling of who is in Body Manor and who truly is guilty. How can we do that within a space, and how can we do that with all our technical aspects? That's what our design meetings headed, and how I tried to talk to our technicians and our director. Next, I have our calendar. I had 2 assistant stage managers who created this calendar with me. We worked backwards. The first day that we got our jobs assigned, me and my stage managers worked backwards with our show dates, and then we worked backwards to try to figure out our rehearsal dates, tech week, and so on and so forth, and how are we going to divide our time, each hour that we had, and how are we going to do scenes and try to rehearse everything. So now that since we knew our dates of the show, we worked backwards. We knew our tech week and we knew each day. After we kind of figure out how to split our scenes and how to split this script in order to work each scene and then be able to take a look at it with our director, then we send out a questionnaire with people and their rehearsal schedule and their complex schedule, see who couldn't make it which day and who wouldn't be able to be there those dates, so we could accommodate and try to get everything done as much as we can without those people and just try to get the show going with everybody who was there. After that, I have our company info and a couple of QR codes, which you can see here in their next pages. All of our communication was done through Microsoft Teams. This was because it is a school-provided function for us, and it was very easy to divide both sections for actors and sections for our technical leads, and then their technical groups, which was a group where they could communicate with everybody in their crews, whether that was makeup, whether that was lights, whether that was sound, and have 1 or 2 stage managers within that process, and then have our director there to communicate with them also. We have 2 cast lists, one for our Lake Creek, our home performances, and then at Grapevine, which we were invited to. Some people weren't allowed to travel due to family issues. Next, I have my script and my master cue sheet. My master cue sheet includes all aspects of the show, whether that is a makeup cue, whether that is a scenic change, whether that is a costume change, everything that needs to happen on stage and that needs people to be ready for it, that is on my script. We have everything color-coded in my script just in case I can't call the show. How can assistant manager call the show without me being there and not having it done multiple times? So I have a color-coded show and also very abbreviations for each cue. For example, I have L for lights with a yellow highlighter on the cue and the line. I have orange for sound with an S. I have flashing lights, which are LF. I have music cues, which are in pink, and then scenic changes, which are SE in green, and then makeup changes in blue. I want to touch on our different communication systems and our design processes. We did have multiple within our cast. We had 30 people, 10 of those being leads, and 10 of us being leads for each section of tech, whether that was makeup, whether that was costuming, whether that was lights, and we all had design meetings of where we wanted to head the show. We wanted it to feel familiar, and we wanted to be able to communicate that with the actors. So we had multiple design meetings and multiple meetings with our director, and try to encompass all of that into one big pile. And then I wrote some information to the parents and send that out so we could all be on the same page. Next, I have a lighting cue sheet and our lighting inventory that we did for that show. We did have to rehang. We had a 2-story set within our show, so we did have to rehang some of our lights. So we have everything that was in our bands and everything in our catwalk and where and how it was hanged. Next, I have our music and sound log. Those were provided actually by the publishing company. We did buy the sound and the rights from them, so those were provided. Here I have the rights and all the music and cues that were done. At Lake Creek, we had only 2 technicians for sound. Then at Grapevine, we had 3, 1 for mics, 1 for sound, and 1 for music, which were all on call with me. I called the show, by the way. It was a very exciting experience and very interesting. After that, I have a cue that I created, a cue sheet that I created for all actors and all technicians whom were backstage to be able to help with scene changes. Each of these says what needs to go on and off, which side of the stage with what in each car. We had 2 moving cars within our set that travel from stage left to stage right, in and out of the stage. And these were posted backstage also. These are diagrams of the stage that I created. You see our set, our 2-story set, and you see how here we have our areas that are blank. Then we have our first scene change, which you see here, which is how that car travels onto the stage, where it needs to stop and start, and what is on it. It has a description down here. I don't think you can actually see it. I am very sorry about that. After that, I want to talk about really quickly, I want to talk about our budget and how we met that. I was in charge of purchasing most of the stuff that you see here in our show. All this stuff was searched by our leads, our technical leads. Here you can see the item, which tech group needed it, a description of it, the links and prices, which were all added by or card by me. We had a very not small budget, but very limiting in how we needed to meet that. All tech groups were sent information over what they needed to meet. Then I have my rehearsal reports, which were one of the main points of communication within our director, and we had every tech section and what got done and what needed to be asked by the director. Thank you so much. You have a good day.